Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, El Shai, Hashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. The title of this video was C. Kirk or Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna put C. Kirk, a Mormon, and if that, was he a racist? So now I've been doing he said he was a Mormon. He said he's a Christian / Mormon. I'm doing this because of these unsies that, you know, in the Christian community that deal with us. These guys, these black ones, they cried. This individual, God Logic, he cried. A couple others cried, and they were even asked, some of them. I don't keep up with them. I don't keep up with that whole debate thing. It was the light-skinned one. It's either Hassad and Hakar. They had a little debate. Watching some of it the other day, and I believe it was Hakar, Deacon Hakar. He asked the one Jake, or there was a couple of Jakes, did you cry when Charlie Kirk, you know, got killed? And they said, yeah. Then there's a video, like I said, of God Logic, you know, balling up over his death. Now this guy's wife, Erica Kirk, never cried. Show me a video where she cried. I'm not a real cry, not no fake. She did a lot of fake crying. She wasn't really remote. Everybody's noticing that. I noticed that before they even got into it. I said, nah, this something. Looks like she don't give a shit. She happy that nigga dead. But anyway, you guys that are crying for this Charlie Kirk clown, trying to make him a 2025 Jesus Christ, is all BS. Now, this guy's a straight up racist because he made a statement. Well, they asked him about reparations. They asked him about reparations. Now check this out. Don't let me come here. Brief history of reparations. Now, in this history, do you know the French sued the Haitian government for reparations because they've fought for their freedom, and they sued them under the grounds of, oh well, we don't make no more money because these slaves. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go to that. I don't even know if it's written in here. I suggest you watch the movie 1804, put together by Tariq Nasheed. Should be on YouTube. I have the DVD somewhere in the house that I believe the Bishop Tazadakbar gave me. So I watched it and I thought Tariq was a Levite. I thought he was Haitian. He's just paying homage to the Haitians. So anyway, okay, so let me see. A brief history of reparations. Now, Charlie Kirk did say, and I heard him say it. Somebody want to look it up and give me the video, put it in the chat or the comment section of this video, they can do so. You know, he spoke about, what did he say exactly about that? I believe he said something about the Haitian Revolution. I could be wrong, but I know he said this. They asked him about the George Floyd thing, and they said he largely died of a drug overdose. So if that's the case, that he didn't die, he said that the officer that put I forget his name, the officer that they knew each other. It was some over some chick. The Edomite, they were both security, whatever, at a club. And I guess they were both trying to get the Edomite, and George Floyd wound up getting it. So he had it in for this guy. He knew him. He knew the guy. So if you work as security bouncers at a club, you know that the guy got a drug situation, and he could, you put your knee on the neck, it could, kill him. His heart is not good. He's not breathing right. He looked like he was drugged up. He did look like he was drugged the fuck up. He wasn't helping old ladies cross the street. There's video of him. Jake. Jake in the hood. That's the type of nigga asks you for $20 and he'll give you next week. You don't see that nigga for like 3 years. And he's constantly moving. Oh, I'll see you next week, bro. Like when you can't finally catch up to him, he ain't got no money for you. Oh, I'm gonna get you. He came off. Don't try to make this nigga some type of fucking hero, cause he ain't no hero. A hero ain't nothing but a sandwich. But anyway, so that's what Kirk said. He said he largely died of a drug overdose. So if he was able to pass off that fake $20, let me say this: I passed off fake $20 bills, not knowing they were fake. I did that. I don't know, you put it in your hand. You don't check each and every bill that you got. Go to the store and then somebody puts it on, this is fake. And they'll give it back. And you can go to the bank. You say, well, I cash a check and I get this. And they can give you another 20, whatever the case may be. They might tell you, take it out and you get it back on your taxes or some bullshit, right? So this happened to me where I pull out some money and they said, oh, this is fake. And they gave me back, I said, oh shit. And I gave them another 20. They didn't call the cops on me. It wasn't a federal case. $20? The crime of the century? So it's something else besides that. So anyway, this cop, what the fuck is his name? He knew that this guy, they worked together. He knew the guy was doing drugs. He had to know if they worked together as bouncers. And let's say he died of a drug overdose. If you're having a heart attack and I push you down, you fall and you die, you can say, well, he died of a heart attack. He didn't die from the push, but you contributed to the death. So Charlie Kirk said, well, he really died off of drugs. He didn't die off of the neck. And that's procedure. That shows you the indifference of this guy, man. And he gets away with it because he's an Edomite, man. So, hey, I didn't shed no tears for that guy. I'm just like his wife. His wife didn't shed a tear. Now you got God logic. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. Like you knew the nigga. And his wife. When we finding out shit about his wife, she a naughty girl. She didn't cry once. But anyway, so at the end of the day, Esau is mad because we're not upset that he died. He's a white man. He said he pretty much said the cop didn't really contribute any way. So this guy was about him, man, and he was not a good debater. He debated kids that came out of high school. He debated freshmen and sophomores, which were fresh out of high school, 19, 20 years old. There's videos of him debating. He's over there in England and he gets smashed by them English professional debaters. But that's neither here or there. I'm not happy for his death, neither am I sad for his death. People die every day. Okay. But they asked him about the reparation thing, and he said he was against it. This is why I went into this thing. Now, this is the French government. Let me see what it says. It says 1825, French demands 150 million francs from the newly independent nation of Haiti. This is to compensate the enslavers, which are the French, for the lost labor of the formerly enslaved black citizens. So when they went to the World Court, whatever court you call it, I can look it up. They said, look, why are you suing Haiti? Because they are slaves. We made millions of dollars on them, putting them in slavery, and we killed them, and we hanged them, and we beat them to keep them. Did you pay them anything? No, we didn't pay them. We gave them slots slop, and they had to live in huts. So why are you suing them? Because they formed a revolution and they killed a lot of us, and we no longer can make money. We don't make no more money, so they got to pay us. They got to pay us for, fucking up our business. Can you imagine that bullshit? But here you got Charlie Kirk saying, oh, black people shouldn't get reparations. And guess what? I don't want your fucking reparations. We're going to get you in the kingdom. We're going to get you, we're going to drill you. You're going to be limping. You're going to be limping, hobbling. You've been doing the fucking worm. When we get you in slavery, man, when we get you in slavery, that's why they come up against it. The problem what they have against the Israelites is because of we saying that they're going into captivity. That's the problem that they got. It has nothing to do with doctrine. No, they're concerned about them going into captivity. And you are going into captivity if you're an Edomite. That's for goddamn sure. Scriptures, it's all over the scriptures. He that leaves in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Scripture says Solomon's prayer in First Kings 8, chapter 8, around about the 40 some odd, 39, 40, around there. But you can read that whole chapter. One of the things that was said, I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put up in the chat that if we're taken down by our enemies, that we call the name of the Father, He'll deliver us. So why ain't we delivered? Because we don't know the name of the Father. You got certain guys. You got Nate, a sellout. He trained his zombies not to call on the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, but he'll call on it once in a while. He definitely took a bag. In my opinion, because he did a video with Mr. Miyagi over about fucking damn near 30 years ago, and the Lord's name is Yahweh Shai, the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Here's the book. This is the Hebrew Bible Dictionary, and this book right here. And this, if you look at this book, nature knows no color line. And now you come to this book, James and there, the Gadites, they used to call Yahweh. And when they saw fire, they said it was Asher. They were speaking Hebrew. So you're going to dedicate all that 2 hours or have a little bit less than 2 hours. You did that video with Mr. Miyagi. And, but now all of a sudden, you got a eureka moment, epiphany from the Lord, where I'm not giving my name out. Come on, man. Yahweh Sab used to call him a name. Shaka used to call him a name. Kanai Gabar used to call him a name. Now all of a sudden none of them calling a name. You can call him a name. When you came out to 2022 Passover, you came out against the doctor's advice, but you said, I got to make it to this Passover. You looked all fucked up, drawn in, and you said you was in your deathbed. And when you say at the Passover, you call the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and then Kanai Gabar calling the name Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But then when you got back your health, you don't click Most High and Christ bless. Anyway. So what happened? So there was a lawsuit, right? You got the petitioner, and in civil war, you have the petitioner and you have the respondent. And in criminal law, you have the what do you call it? Not the petitioner, but what's the word? The accused against the defendant. The plaintiff against the defendant. In civil law, it's it's respondent, right? Not plaintiff, but petitioner. Petitioner against respondent. So this was a civil case. So they wanted money damages, right? So it says, oh, we bringing this case before the court, this honorable court, because they effed up our money. But what kind of business do you have? We had them as slaves, so we want our money. We want to pay. That's why they're the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, because of that suit. Okay, to avoid another war. I'm sorry. Let me read this again. 1825, French demands 150. So you can pretty much do anything, and you go to the proper court, you're gonna get your money. Where's the court for the so-called black man and black woman of America? The reparations. We ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna give you the money. You gonna have to get it. How you gonna get it? In the kingdom of heaven. That's when you're gonna get your reparations. And brother, you're going to get your reparations. From newly independent nation of Haiti, this is to compensate the enslavers, which were the French, for the lost labor of the formerly enslaved black citizens, the Haitians, Levi, who were liberated in Haiti's revolution. They killed motherfuckers. To avoid another war, Haiti agrees, because French lost. They wanted to re-up, and they wanted to add more nations in to really take them down. They wouldn't stop, and that's the spirit of that devil. And the burden of this debt limits Haiti's development for over 100 years. So this was 1825. So 100 years in the future is 1925. This lawsuit was for $150 million. Back then, we're talking billions, possibly a couple trillion. I'm not going to do the math on that. And don't you try to do the math. You don't know the math. 1862, President Lincoln signs the District of Columbia Compensation and Emancipation Act into law. The act offered reparations of former slave owners. Wait a minute, I forgot about that. So when the Civil War, Kennedy offered slave owners $300 for each person freed, each Negro freed. 300, how much is that in gold today? Let me see something. What is that? 300. Okay, give me a second. Okay, that would be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay, that would be 15. What's 15 times 4,000? 4,000. 40. I believe it's like 60,000. I got to do the math. I believe it's. I'm sorry, 4,000. I think it's something like 60,000. I'm not going to do the math right now, but it was a nice chunk of change for each slave that they lost. So basically Lincoln said, I'm sorry that I took your slaves, but we're going to reimburse you. 1865, 20 local black leaders approached General William T. Sherman with a proposal for reparations, which leads to the Special Field Order number 15, known as the 40 Acres of Mule. Remember that, 40 Acres of the Mule Act, right? Sherman issued orders that, because there was, like the Black Wall Street, I think that money came from reparations. I think they got reparations. They were doing good. That shows you, this is another reason why they're going to give it to you. Because if they would have to give us maybe $5 million a year for like the next 50 years, each grown-up slave or whatever. And if we came into that tight, let's say you wake up the next day, your bank, you got maybe 3,000-4,000 in the bank, maybe not even that much. You go to the bank the next day, you put your card in, you got 50 million in the bank, and you find out every Jake that you know got 50 million in the bank. You're gonna have Jakes that's gonna blow the money, but you're gonna have smart, educated, disciplined Jakes that's gonna do something with it. We will outdo these people. So that's why they're not giving you. That's the real reason why they're not giving you the money, because they know you're gonna take them over, like we took over the Roman Empire. All right. Okay, 1896, an organizer named Carly House establishes the National Ex-Slave Mutual Relief, Bounty, and Pension Association. By the late 1890s, the organization became the leading grassroots association advocating for pensions for people who were formerly enslaved. Okay, that was a pension plan. That never happened, you know? But anyway, you can read this. So if the French was able to sue, and Haiti, they gave them the money. They gave them what they wanted, right? Because they didn't want no more war. Because they're gonna regroup. Because Esau's in his power seat. He ain't gonna give up. He's gonna regroup until he completely takes you down. So it says to avoid another war. Who wanted to avoid another war? The Haitians. Haiti agrees, and the burden of this debt limits Haiti's development for over 100 years. So it was a demand for $150 million back then. We're talking in the trillions. Because a $20 bill back then is equal to about $4,000 today. So you do the math. And that's why Haiti is known as the poorest. Because if they would have got off scot-free, that would have been the richest nation in the Western Hemisphere. But Esau said we want reparations. But we can't get reparations because Charlie Kirk said no, they don't need no reparations. That's what he said. Let me do this. Anyway, like I said, C. Kirk was a Mormon. It says, what is the skin of black in the Book of Mormons? And another curse was having woolly hair. Okay, this is 2 Nephi 5:21. They said they changed the book. Oh, we don't teach that no more. Everybody's equal now, which is BS. And he had caused the cursing to come upon them, yea, even a sore cursing because of their iniquity. As they were white, so really black people were once white people that have a curse on them. You were white, but I'm gonna make you black now. Wait a minute, being white is leprosy, right? So what color was Miriam, the sister of Moses? And she turned white. How you going to turn somebody white that's already white? She was black. And exceedingly fair and delightsome, that they might not be enticing unto my people. The Lord power did cause a skin of blackness to come upon them. 2 Nephi 5 verse 21. And you got a video right here. And I got the same book in the house somewhere. I got it in my bag in the closet. Got the same book. And you can open it up. There's a precept. There's another part where it speaks about having woolly hair. That was another curse. Okay, this is 5. This is... But I'm not going to go ahead and read all of this. So they're saying it was a curse. Let me come back. So for you have these black Christians to cry for this guy, and his wife didn't even cry for him. You guys are gone. There's nothing we can do for y'all. You want us to follow y'all, and if we followed y'all, you're gonna lead us into a white Jesus, a white God, Heavenly Father, white Jesus, white angels, and then eventually, like this guy, God Logic probably dreams that when he goes to heaven, he's gonna turn into a white man and have blonde hair. And we were so fucked up as kids, we wanted to fucking be white. I want to check something out here. And check this out. Okay, this is the Mormons' belief. But now they're saying, oh, we used to teach that. We don't teach that no more. They didn't change the books. So when did you have the truth? So here we go. Right here it says, no, Mormons do not currently believe that being black is a curse from God. Then they tell you, oh, we used to teach that. We don't teach that no more. It's historical context, early beliefs. In the early days of the LDC, Latter-day Saint Church, leaders like Joseph Smith and Brigham Young taught that dark skin was a sign of a curse from God. So was Joseph Smith and Brigham Young false prophets? Huh? They had to be. If they say, yeah, if a black person, that means you curse from God. But we don't teach that now. So you got to teach that Joseph Smith and Brigham Young were false prophets. Ask any of them. So let me ask you a question. Who's named, both of them, two of them, who's the two top leaders, founders of the Mormon religion? They'll tell you Joseph Smith and Brigham Young. That's what they'll tell you, Joseph Smith and Brigham Young. Now, if you say, well, were they prophets of the Lord? Yeah. Did the Lord deal with them directly, gave them visions? Yes. Okay, so did the Lord tell them that being black is a curse? Now, they may say yes or they may say no. You got them either way. If they say yes, I said, okay. So, but did they change? Yeah, they changed that. I say, so let me ask you this. So Joseph Smith and Brigham Young wasn't dealing with God, or they turned their back on God or the Most High, right? Either way, these guys are hypocrites, which makes them false prophets. It said taught that dark skin was a sign of a curse from the Most High, often linking it to the biblical accounts of Cain and Ham. And that's what Esau taught Edomites, white people teach, justifying the slave thing. He said, because these people are the sons of Cain. You got Ham, you got Canaan, not Cain, but Canaan, right? Accounts of Cain and Ham. I'm sorry, Cain, right? Cain. And then you have Ham, which had one of his sons was known as Canaan, and the curse went on Canaan. So when they say they're enslaving you, oh, we're enslaving the Canaanites. You Negroes in slavery, the American slave trade, are the Canaanites. We're not doing nothing wrong. If you go to Revelation, I believe it's Revelation 9 and 25. I believe it's 9 and 25, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to check it. So there was a point in time where if you were black, you couldn't get a high office of priesthood. But now they changed it. Because maybe they're losing members. But hey, this is what Charlie Kirk thought of you. He was a Mormon. They asked him a question about George Floyd. Oh, he didn't die of a knee in the back of his neck. Even though he was saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. So that shows you what he felt about Negroes. He didn't give a fuck about Negroes. So why in the hell should we give a fuck about him? And I gave you the ultimate example of reparations. The French sued the Haitian government for $150 million. Back then, when you bring it up to date, adjust for inflation, we're talking about trillions. And these guys were stuck in limbo, hate the Haitian government for over 100 years. So he didn't give a fuck about. Why you give a fuck about him? That's why we here at GMS, we don't want to deal with you Christians. We don't. First of all, you need us. We don't need you. We don't need you. Especially you black ones. We definitely don't need you. I can understand vocab looking for a way in. You got the way in. You don't want the way in because Esau can't make it the way you can make it. So go to hell, man. Anyway, shalom, on to the next.